Pressure washers you don't use. Way too much pressure. Okay? Now one thing you need to be careful of when you're handling this is wear gloves. Okay? You see this white crusty stuff? That's floor cleaner. That's just dried out. It's lost all of its moisture. It's all around all of this equipment too. Okay?
Corrosion.
Now what's going to happen is in the middle of summertime, you're going to get that white powdery stuff on your hands. It's kind of like battery acid over. You can get it on your hands, you're not going to feel anything. You can start sweating, you can start working. Maybe put gloves on, and you can start
burning, right?
You can start getting burned. Yeah, you're going to get a chemical burn out of it. So always wear some gloves. I had gotten to the point where I was wearing Crocs when I was doing this a lot. Stupid shoes without socks because it worked pretty good. I could wash the floor cleaner off my feet, but I kept getting, spraying it all the time. If you go do, a dozen of these a day or more, you're going to get it in your socks. And your socks were holding it, and it was giving me chemical burns around my ankles and stuff. You really got to be careful about how you're spraying it. It doesn't take much. In some of these units, you got to get in funky positions and this, that, the other, and you're liable to get some on your leg. So just be careful of that. Okay? Chemical burns hurt. Not horrible, but they hurt. If you do get this cold cleaner on you, on your skin, why are your glasses not on? If you do get this on your skin, what's going to happen is you want to rinse thoroughly. Yeah, 10-15 minutes. Had a dude over here at Baker one day pick up a case of that cold cleaner, and bringing it in for shipment, and it busted. Got on the shoulder, he's like, I'll be all right. That dude didn't show up again for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. He took on off. He's like, man, you need to come back here and wash this off. And I'm like, no, I'll be all right. Yeah, that's the way it usually happens at first. Okay, you don't feel anything at first. Then it gets bad, real bad. First thing we're going to do is, if you have a disconnect, you're going to pull your disconnect. Okay. Well, we want to verify this thing is clean before we check our refrigerator. Now, one cool trick you can do is always, a lot of times I can sit back if the sun's out and I can see through the fins here and I can see light. You can just come out here, stand right here. You can see light. You can see through these thinner coils and see if you can see light. And it's basically clean all the way around. I can sit there and look around. I'm good. I know it's fairly clean. It probably doesn't need to go through the whole coil cleaning bath. But if you don't have that, you might want to clean it. It's not always what you see, because the coil itself, the outside means nothing. Customers all the time, I clean it every year. I do this, I do that. I come out there with the water hose. Well, how do you clean it? Well, I come out with the water hose, and I sit there and I go like this, and all they're doing is packing that into it. Okay, in the center of that coil is where all your tube fins are going, right? Back and forth, all your tubes are going back and forth. All you're doing is packing it in there real tight. And I've seen them, oh, it's clean, it's perfect, whatever. No, it's not. Because I've looked at their head pressure. Their head pressure is way off the chart. And I need to clean this, and they want to argue with me about it. Stand there and watch me clean it. If you don't think it's dirty when I get through, I'll give you one back. Okay? And what will end up happening is I'll go through my process and I'll just have chunks of stuff coming out of the center of the unit. You always try to reverse your airflow. Instead try. Don't have to all the time, but you always try to reverse the airflow. If the air is being sucked in through the side, blown out through the top, you will try to reverse it, okay? And reverse that airflow. With your water hose. Always washing in reverse. You're not actually reversing the airflow, but you're washing it out in reverse. Well, yeah, you can do that too if you have a universal fan motor.
I thought you had to wash inside,
we're about to do it. Okay. Let me borrow your nut driver real quick. Now usually I will use my little zip screwdriver, little impact, and I'll have a 5/16 and a quarter, and I can zip these apart real quick. Okay. Instructional purposes, when I can pull that out. Now, depending on the unit, this is a little Coleman or York unit. These are fairly easy to wash out. The main problem I get with these is since they're so low to the ground and everything, they get a lot of leaf built up on the inside. You don't want to ignore that, okay? You have a lot of problems on the inside as well. If you don't sit there and I don't want to sit there with my pocket, but you can always have leaves and debris inside. You want to clean that out before you start cleaning it with the chemical. So typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my screws loose. It depends on the unit. The Goodman units up there we have in the lab, a few of them. You can actually unscrew the whole top. And with the wires still connected, most of the time you can sit there and pull it and lay it off to the side. Real careful, not pinching or pulling the wires. Okay, at that point in time you can clean these. It's real simple. You're going to want to reach in here and pull out all your debris and junk and leaves at that point in time. Get it all cleaned out real good. Okay? At that point in time, if you're looking at it, you're about ready for washing. But always start off with a pre-rinse. Okay? I don't know why, but the coil cleaner seems not to hurt the aluminum as much, and it works better if you go into pre-rinse. Now, like I said, that spray, break it up. Now, there's a technique, believe it or not, when you're cleaning. The technique is always keep the end of that nozzle straight out 90 degrees from that coil. Okay? Always keep it straight out. See how I'm doing that? You'll always keep that nozzle straight out. Do not sit there and rotate your wrist. Because what's going to happen is, when you rotate that your wrist, yes, you fine in the center, but when you go off to the side and rotate, you're just going to bend all those pins. That's all you're going to do. You rotate it, you're going to bend all those pins. It happens a ton. So always, when you're doing it, you work methodically from the top down slowly. You work about this slow. We're literally that slow.
You know, I know we have to plan to clean it. But how is it that the motor will never run out and it's out the rain on it?
Sir?
How the motor will never run out and it's out the rain on it?
That's a sealed motor. Now, if you look on this motor, it's got drain holes here that are facing downwards when the motor's installed. Right here for condensation reasons only. Universal motors usually have a rubber plug in one drain. You're going to make sure it's facing down and open. That way if anything gets in it or condensation, it drains on out. Okay? Those are sealed, unlike a blower motor. You can see it doesn't have any little vents on the side or anything.
Right.
Okay? So y'all want to step back for a little bit. We're going to pre-wet this coil. And actually you can pre-wet it from either side. But when I'm washing it, I'm basically going to be going just back and forth like this.
Water, right here.
Okay? And the corners, same thing. Anytime you want to pivot your wrist right there in the corners, that's about the only time you're going to do it on the inside. The rest of the time you're going to keep it flat. You're going to actually move your whole arm as you're going back and forth. Because otherwise, you're going to bend those pins. Okay? There's more technique to this than most people realize. Okay, I washed, I don't know how many units, but it's been a bunch. Okay, and this is just how I do it. Okay, and this is the easiest way, and you're not going to get any damage doing it this way. But after we come in here, we pre-wet the coil down pretty good. We're just going to wet the coil down. Now, these are hard to get to those back sides over where you are, simply because, well, the compressor's right there in the way on the short unit. Okay? Sometimes you do need to take the whole top off, sometimes you don't. Depends on the unit. This is a coil gun. Now this, I have a hand spray nozzle that goes on the water hose, and it has a quick detach here, typically. But you see all this crusty stuff right here? That will hurt you bad. Okay? That will hurt you bad, bad. Coil cleaner. I typically use the non-acidic foaming alkaline coil cleaner. It's non-acidic, but it's the very far opposite of the pH scale. It will give you a bad chemical burn. It's going to feel a little soapy when you put it on you. If you get it on you, it's going to feel real slimy, unlike acid. And what you're going to want to do is make sure you wash that until all that feeling and sensation goes away. I'll put just a little bit in there.
What's the name of that?
Plus, yeah. I like to use basically the True Blue, or the blue stuff, non-acidic.
I just stuff in the can to get this going.
That's good for something like homeowners want to try to do stuff themselves. So we're professionals. I mean, that's like asking the Snap-on guy, what do you think about those Chinese tools down at Harbor Freight? Come on now.
Mr. Johnson, you're saying that don't just get any kind of chemical and try to clean this stuff and mess it up. We need to get the right stuff.
You need to get the right stuff. And depending on the application.
People use dishwater detergent.
What?
Awesome.
Yeah, you can use basically any detergent, including Dawn.
Okay.
Okay, clean it without this. This is in mostly extreme cases. Or actually, I hit it with this quite a bit. Sometimes I can just wash it with water, but the truth is a lot gets packed in there that you don't see. Now these coil guns, this one I can adjust the variables. It's not hooked up. This one is not hooked up right now. C ratio is like 5 or 6 to 1. You can actually adjust the ratio of what it's going to put it out. I'm going to put it on a B, which is about 3 to 1. Well, we'll go to C. 4 to 1, 5 to 1. You want to follow the recommended specifications on the. In extreme cases, I will go a little bit harder, like make it a little bit stronger.
How long do we let this sit on there?
Just a few minutes.
Exactly a few minutes.
Yep. Now I'm gonna see how I got it on me.
So
That's why we wear safety glasses. Yeah, run this shirt.
Do the inside and out, right?
No,
Just the inside?
the first one I always do just the inside. The second one I might do the outside afterwards. Now we're gonna sit there and let it do its little magic. Now, I didn't go all the way on the back side because, well, this is demonstration purposes only. Okay.
Let it sit a minute or two.
It's gonna try to foam up now. It foams up when it gets in contact with that aluminum. If it's a real dirty coil, it won't foam up. Believe it or not, it just won't do it.
Now, in most cases, it's going to be in the summertime.
Why do you take off your safety glasses?
It's going to be hot. You got to hold down. So you can't, got to go and wash it off for a dry.
Hey, Mr. Jones, you got the stuff on your arm, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to see you fall out and all this type of stuff.
all right.
You got brown your wall there.